Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Stock Start, the Balloon Blast Video Show's new stock trading show. I know what you're thinking. The economy's down. There's not much work. I can't even afford balloons. Hey, I don't want to hear it. What did we learn from Amazon? What did we learn from Tesla? We got to turn this pandemic into a candemic if you don't want to live in a vandemic. So, get your money out, pull everything out of savings. It's time to invest in the stock market. And what do we have on the hot list today? My hot list today says you should buy Sell Corp, you should sell Buy Company, and you should hold Sell Buy Buy Sell Holdings Incorporated. But look, if you want to make the real money, I'm going to let you guys in on a little tip. It's no longer a bear market. It's no longer a bull market. In fact, it's a purple pig market. And Purple Pig says meme stocks are where it's at. Sure, the stock market makes you money, but if you want incremental growth that is exponential in an incremental exponential way, whatever these words mean, you want to invest in meme stocks. And I don't have a list for those because the values jump so fast that we have to watch the monitor for up to the second changes. And what does it say we should invest in? Oh, that's just in. Balloon-animals.com is my lock it in 3-alarm investment tip of the day. 1, 2, 3-alarm investment tip. So move all of my holdings over into balloon-animals.com and we're going to watch the money roll in. That's right. We don't have to do any more line twisting, no more birthday parties, no more hustle. In fact, how are we doing? My holdings are tanking. All right. Our money is tanking like a huge military tank, rolling over the competition, destroying everything in its way, taking whatever it wants. Tanking in a bad way. There's a bad way to tank? Oh, I've lost everything. I've lost everything? How did that happen? Oh, that monitor. Okay, sorry everyone. Apparently that's the sell immediately monitor, and that's the buy now monitor. So I was supposed to sell balloon-animals.com and buy balloonacademy.com. Okay. And lost everything again? Wow, that's the third time. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. We're going to take a break, tear down the studio, sell whatever we can to the salvage company, and once the repo guys are out of here, I guess we'll come back with an episode of the Balloon Blast Video Show. All right, welcome back to the Balloon Blast Video Show. I'm Scott Tripp, your host, and this is the Balloon Blast Video Show with Scott Tripp. So, crazy times, right? We gotta stop saying that because it's always crazy times. It's just a different type of crazy. And now, finally, some of us have work again. The gigs are coming back, woo! But now there's a balloon shortage. It's like the monkey's paw story, right? A wish is granted, but then something else happens. So now what do? We have all these bookings, but not enough balloons to make balloon sculptures for all the bookings. Well, hey, you know how we've been saving balloon scraps all this time for whatever reason? I guess for a rainy day, and when it rains, it pours, and it pours balloon scraps all over our heads. I used to have buckets and buckets of these, and I got rid of them, but balloon scraps accumulate faster than you can get rid of them. I have a bunch of bags that are just full of random balloon scraps. So step one is I went through a couple of these bags and condensed them down into usable scraps. Got rid of all the different nozzles or popped pieces or broken prints or whatever. And mostly these bags are full of mostly 260s that are 2 or 3 inches longer, giving you these perfectly usable scraps. But why? Because we need to change the way we do balloons until the pipeline catches back up to us, right? I know a lot of people are panicking. The whole like, oh, I don't know how to do my job anymore. We were in such a great place with so many colors. Yes, right, we were in a great place. So many colors, so many shapes, so many choices, everything you could ever want. And we can make anything in the world with balloons. And then suddenly the carpet was ripped out from under us and the rug under that was ripped out from under us. And then the subflooring caught on fire. What do? We make balloons. We do what we've always done. You get to the Super Bowl, a lot of times your team is banged up. The quarterback has broken ankle and you just got to tape it up and get out there. Yep, we're injured, we're hurt, but we got to get through a couple months, maybe a year, who knows. And then hopefully things will get back together. But for now, play through the pain, and we're going to do that. So, use up our balloon scraps. What's a good way to do that? Change up the way we've been doing some things. You know how when you do line work, you used to be able to ask the next kid in line, what would you like? I can make anything in the world. Well, maybe we won't do that for a while. So what we're going to do is suggested sell people on the balloons that we want to get rid of, because we have all of these scrap pieces and a lot of 5-inch round balloon prints and hearts and things that are probably going bad if we don't use them soon. Especially the black latex balloons, they tend to biodegrade faster, so like the Batman prints, all of those, got to push them out. So we're going to make different bracelets using scraps and prints. So grab a random color scrap. This one is red, it's about 4 or 5 inches long, still has a nipple end. I apparently just used 2/3 of that balloon, cut it off, threw it in the scrap bin. We'll bring that back to life. We're going to inflate it. I'm using the Legenda, so I'm going to inflate that to a 0.2 or a 0.3 on the timer, your preference. That's just about the right size to make one flower petal for a flower bracelet. It's a little on the small side, but I do want some squish in there, so when I give it that squish, it'll be just right. Tie it up. And we'll repeat with another color. Orange! Tie them together. And leave a little squish. And blow up another color. Yellow. Throw it on there. Here's some green. Blue! This violet is missing both ends, so we'll tie a knot and blow it up from here. Multicolored snake. Now we'll trim all the knots in between the different colored segments. Now tie that into a big loop, or a hoop, or a circle, or a hexagon. Hexagon, yeah. Now, each one of these turn into a flower petal. Beautiful suffering. Some of them you need to pull out and twist around to make sure that it all meets in the middle. There we go. Spin those around and we'll get that rainbow order there. Your red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, etc., etc. Now you can either put just a round balloon in here and a wristband. I have this violet. I'm going to use that for the wristband part. Now you can put just a round piece of a balloon in there. And make a really fun rainbow flower bracelet that costs you nothing. That's all scrap balloons. But as I said, we're changing the way we're doing balloons so that we can use up more scraps. So instead what we're doing here is making a bunch of these different flower bracelets with different color balloons. We're going to put different prints on top. Like this purple Ninja Turtle. I never used these. I have a bunch of them. So I made some bases with green and brown, like turtle and shell. We're going to plop these on here. Boom! And or cowabunga. It's a great way not only to use up scraps, but also all these weird little balloon prints we never use. Neon alien. Don't need that. Got a couple of these owls left. I'll use up a bunch of those. They look pretty good on rainbow. Printed unicorn 5-inch rounds. I never use these. If I make a unicorn, I'm making it out of like 260s and hearts and 350s and stuff, not 5-inch rounds. I think I just bought these to make astronaut unicorns a while back and have almost a full bag left. So that'll get me through November this year. Use up a ton of those. Oh yeah, and any kind of multi-pack, assorted pack, like superheroes, use up all the Incredible Hulk and you have so many Thor balloons left. Gonna go through those like crazy, right? Let's get rid of all those. So what we're gonna do at our event is we're gonna have a bunch of these made up and we're just gonna have the kids choose from multiple choice. Instead of what do you want, we'll say, hey, check out all of these printed balloons that we have over here. I've got aliens, there's some pirates, I've got these cool emojis. Which one do you want? Then we'll blow it up, slap it on here, and hey, use up those scraps, use up those prints. Everybody's happy. Win, 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 win. Oh, hey, speaking of hoarding and old balloons and things like that, it's time for your favorite segment, the Hoard. Ode to the Geo Balloon. No, we're not doing poetry. Who wants that? No, but we are having a look at some really cool balloons. Geo Blossoms and Geo Donuts in the 6-inch and the 16-inch size. Well, 16-inch in the Geo Donuts. We don't have 6-inch Geo Donuts yet, and possibly never will, but that's okay. We're happy with the Geo Blossoms, right? I love Geo Blossoms, you love Geo Blossoms, everyone loves Geo Blossoms. In fact, some of you might remember when they got rid of the Geo Blossom balloon. The 6-inch Geo Blossoms were awesome, but the molds started to wear out, they got a little old, and they were discontinued. Qualitex/Pioneer had to decide whether or not it was worth investing in new silicone molds to produce another line of Geos or just let them go altogether. Luckily, they produced new molds and we have 6-inch Geo Blossoms again. And anyone from that time also remembers the originals had a shorter neck that made them very hard to tie, and the newer ones had a longer neck, so we had about an extra ½ inch or so depending, so that you can tie a knot in the end of the Geo Blossoms, which was much, much better. So yes, it was tragic when they were discontinued, but great when they came back because they were new and improved and had that nice longer neck that you could tie easily. And since the introduction of the Geo Blossom and Geo Donut, twisters and decorators have always wondered, how exactly are they made? If you dip a former or a mold into liquid latex, let it dry, and then try to remove the balloon, the piece that forms the hole would trap the balloon on the mold, right? It's some sort of puzzle and it doesn't really make sense. It's a mystery. It's been a secret and a mystery to a lot of balloon artists and balloon decorators and balloon twisters and balloon aficionados and everyone really. And looking at some of the older bags, these are the 6-inch Geo Blossoms, and I have a few bags I had to dig in the hoard to find 16-inch Geo Donuts. These actually say the color is hot rose, which I guess is what we know as rose pink now. On the back of the bag, you have this really cool, wonderfully old school graphic here that has the Geo inflation tips, and also the bottom there's the 1990 Pioneer Balloon Company copyright, and it's exclusive licensee of Ronald E. Prater. I remember talking to Ralph Dewey at one point about the Qualitex Geos and how they were made, and he brought up the point that they are copyrighted, which means anyone can go online and look up the copyright. And so I did. Oh, and I got lost looking at patents. Started off with the 1936 patent here with all these really cool balloon shapes. The popular shapes of the day, like the fish, the pig, the shoe, the soda bottle, and of course the box of yeast. Really fun balloon shape, why not? But then we got to the September 20th, 1988 patent for Geo Blossoms. And that's where I found some really fun, surprising things. Of course, we have our 5-petal Geos, the kind that we know and love and play with now. There's also this alternate design here for a really pointy, like 5-point star Geo, which is interesting, and a 6-petal Geo. Wow, I don't know if that ever went into prototype, but that's pretty interesting too. So that's some variations of the Geo Blossom that we could have had, but that doesn't really answer the question of how they're made, right? I've had several people tell me that they found hidden surprises in their bags of Geo Blossoms. Remember when they were discontinued because the molds were wearing out? Yeah, apparently some of them actually broke off during the dipping process. And some people who I am in great debt to found some inside and sent them to me. I don't know if they want to be called out by name here, but you know who you are. Someone sent me this Geo Blossom, 6-inch pink Geo Blossom that still has the mold inside, which is awesome. That means it was dipped in there and it must have broken off when the balloon was being stripped off. And I haven't taken the mold out of the balloon because, I don't know, that's kind of a cool souvenir the way it is, but I still want to see what it looks like. Luckily, another person sent me one, and they sent me this broken off Geo mold that fell into their bag of 6-inch Geo Blossoms. Really nice hard rubber. You can tell where the piece was broken off of the, I guess, the stem of the former, and that really cool opening where the balloon mold is pulled off of the balloon. Those are going back into the protective box and back into the hoard. And now it's time for us to go back out into the world and twist our balloons with our really fun 6-inch and 16-inch Geo Blossoms and 16-inch Geo Donuts. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out. As the Golden Girls say, you're a pal and a confidant. Okay, so you know how Halloween sculptures are super fun to make, but Halloween is only like one day out of the year. Well, it's like, it's a month. All right, it's like 2 months, I guess, whatever. But the day after Halloween, you have that big letdown. You have all these fun sculptures, and now you can't make them again for a long time. I mean, you can, but it's kind of weird sometimes. Well, here's one that I really enjoy making. This is the after Halloween balloon. It's the rotting pumpkin. Gonna show you how to make this, but in the interest of keeping these episodes down under 30 minutes, we're gonna zip through a bunch of this. So real quick, you'll just need to make one of those flowery bracelet bases. Like we did before, I have like a mocha or a coffee or whatever color they want to call it now, and like a dark chocolate brown alternating. So it's sort of like the pumpkin vine, but it's like brown and old and rotting. For the top of the jack-o'-lantern, we have 3 little flower petals I made with a brown 160 and a little vine sticking out. Kind of give it a little shock twist so it makes a little S shape. This is going to go on top of the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. I'm going to use a really fun jack-o'-lantern pumpkin print. I really like this one. It looks like your classic jack-o'-lantern. But this is vibrant and orange, and it's a Halloween pumpkin, not a November 15th rotting pumpkin. So we're going to double stuff this inside a blush 5-inch round. The easy way is to use a straw or a stick of some sort, put that inside the 5-inch round jack-o'-lantern pumpkin print, and then the 5-inch round blush will go over the top. The straw makes stuffing much easier. And also, because there's no connection point at the top to put the vine, I'm going to drop in a balloon raisin. A balloon raisin is just a piece of a balloon that we've tied into 2 or 3 knots just to add a little bulk and that we can grab through the wall of the latex. So drop that inside both balloons, make sure it goes inside the jack-o'-lantern print as well, and then inflate. Softened it just a little bit, going to tie, but you can see the print through the wall of the 5-inch round blush, but it gives it that like sun faded color. It's really a cool appearance. Tie both balloons. Now we're going to pull the raisin through both layers of latex. Turn the balloon upside down so the knot's facing upwards. Grab that raisin, feel for it. Got it, and twist. Now if you want, you can tie a scrap around the raisin to secure it first, but I'm just going to wrap this around some of the petals. So it'll fit, it'll stay, it'll be good. It'll be good, calm down. There we go. See, everything's fine. And we're going to put that on top of the base. Use the knot to attach. And now we just need the Sharpie work. So we have some Sharpies. There's light green, dark green, brown, black, and a white edding paint marker. I'm going to start with the white paint marker first, lay down a base coat, making a worm that pops out of this eye socket. I start by making a circle on both ends and then filling that out into a tube and filling the middle part in. And we're going to have one in the mouth here. It's going to come out one side, have a little bit of a bend, kind of wiggly, stick out the other side. And again, it's easier to make a full circle for the head and the tail, and then fill in the tube shape. Next up, brown Sharpie. Going to trace over all the lines outlining the carved part of the jack-o'-lantern. I'm making these swoopy lines because remember, it's an old rotting pumpkin. It's saggy, and this is making it look soft and honestly kind of sad. Do the nose here, and all of these swoopy lines make it look like it's kind of mushy. And while we're outlining all the brown Sharpie parts, that gives the white paint time to dry, and you might want to go back and do a second coat. Now I'm going to use the brown marker still and make some swoopy lines and some dots. Just kind of fill in all around and add to the wrinkly, sad, neglected, old jack-o'-lantern look. Okay, now cover over the white paint marker part with light green. Fill that in, make it into a worm. Outline with the dark green Sharpie, and I'll make little lines for segments. And there we go, we're good. There's your rotting jack-o'-lantern. Nice. Heck yeah, the rotting pumpkin. It's a fun balloon. Trick and or treat. That's it. End of another episode of the Balloon Blast video show. And I know last episode that I said that there would be a special announcement this episode. Well, the special announcement is that next episode is a special episode. I know, it's like we keep pushing it down the line, next episode. But seriously, next episode is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's been 2 years in the making. It's been probably 6 years in the planning. We've been talking about doing this for such a long time. And now, finally, it's here. What is it? Stick around after the credits and you'll see a preview for the big event that's coming up for Balloon Blast starting next episode. Stick around. Here come the credits. Oh wait, they come from the bottom. Here they go. With the money we've got, set them free at the break of dawn. So one by one, they were gone. Back at the base, sparks in the software. Flash the message, someone's out there. Floating in the summer sky, 99 red balloons go by.
Hey Tony, what's going on?
Hey Dan, don't forget that you're hosting the Balloon Blast Battle Royale. Please put a shirt on.